Can I ask you which areas of the game do you think are going to be decisive tomorrow night?
Set piece will be massive. And if you look at previous World Cups, the execution of your roles in that area has always been critical. And we know for us, it's an area we've got a lot of confidence in our game. And so I think that, for all the pressure, for all the different occasions, rugby is quite a simple game. Philosophically, is that you have to do well on your own ball. You have to control the set piece. If you don't do well on that, and I don't just mean the forward stuff. I mean the forward back connection and how you use the ball that you get in those early phases. So I think I reckon that's a key part of it. And then after that, there's how you deal with each team's strengths. So that they'll be trying to deal with our strengths and trying to figure out how to negate them, and we have to try to deal with their strengths to make sure that they just don't go into that comfortable space that they could just play that type of game against us. So both teams in the same camp with that, Mo, and that's what I love about it.
What kind of forces do you guys use?
Yeah, good question, because part of the challenge is to discover that for yourself, and for us as a team. But I think we get it from I guess the history and the legacy of the jersey is massive for us, and the people who have walked the journey that we've walked are pretty special, and then you expand that out to our country, because it's the All Blacks have always had a special place in New Zealanders' heart, and the amount of support we've got from our country has been quite overwhelming. I think we're generally a conservative bunch. We're generally a little bit cynical at times. We show our love and support by criticising, and yet it's swung around a little bit, and suddenly there's a lot of excitement from our country. So I think we get it from the people we represent, our families, and our past would be critical. But I guess the other group has by no means less than those other ones is just when we shut the door and we sit in a circle, it's that group of people there, and massively motivated to meet the standards that we've set ourselves, and quite high motivation. Thank you. Yeah, look, I think we've got a great balance of people that have been there and people that haven't been there, and when you ask the group to put their hand up if this is their first World Cup final or first World Cup full stop, more than half the team put their hand up, and that includes some of the management. And so we've got a great mixture. So, the ability to have people that have been there to pass on some learnings has been special. But the real message is that the experienced players have passed on, like Sammy and Dane Coles, those sort of people, it's not spoken, it's just done. It's about actions. It's just showing how to prepare, how to deal with the pressure, and those people have done a fantastic job, and Sam's a massive example of that. And it's been a highlight reel of achievements for him, hasn't it, the last 5 or 6 weeks. And but I remember getting asked in this media conference a few weeks ago, what else can he achieve? And I said, well, be the first man to win 3 would be pretty special. And we would feel a lot of honour if that happened.
This team, and I suppose the focus on what's to come tomorrow night.
Yeah, I guess a lot of my energy and my thought and all my thoughts have just been on Saturday, really, preparing for, the best Springbok side we'll face. And that's about getting into my book, but also, had a really good day off with the boys as well. And understanding it's our last week together, just soaking all of that up. But the start of the week was just about putting everything into this week, leaving no stone unturned, and where the mind goes, the body will follow. So for me, it's preparing mentally just as much as physically.
And what does this week
what you know and trust your own game.
You have been really lucky to have players floating in and out of camp and to be able to lean on them for advice. And I think the main thing that keeps coming out of those players that have been here before is they're all similar. It's doing your job and doing it at a high quality and with high intent. And I think in a team like the All Blacks, that's all that requires. And under the most pressure, being able to do that time and time again is what this team needs you to do. So I think, for me to hear that over and over again, it just confirms that whether it's a final, pool play game, club footy, I just got to go out there and do my job for the team. So on to the haka. He's one of our haka specialists, Jill.
Yeah, it's plenty of heat coming from the back row where I'm standing, but the haka is obviously a really important piece to us. It's like Foz touched on before. It's a huge part of our legacy and representing our people, and it does bring the group together. It's our last kind of thing as a group we do together before we play. So there's a special kind of feeling in that. And Nagi's been doing a great job as kind of our leader of that. So we definitely draw a lot of power from it. And I guess it's a nice way to kind of finish your preparations off and get ready to go. Yeah, it's a good question. I think in terms of the end of the question around how difficult has it been, is that hasn't been that difficult because there's been a huge amount of drive to turn it around and get it right. Like Richie touched on, there's a special group here, and we've always been committed towards being the best team we could be. And I think, definitely some pretty tough times, particularly in 2022 last year, where things went a bit astray, but we've sort of come out of the fire of that. And I guess the big thing for us now is that consistency's kind of been found a little bit, and we've been able to put back-to-back performances together, which was probably what was missing before. So again, that's a challenge for us tomorrow night, is to be able to go 3 good games in a row, and that'll be kind of the hallmark of where we're at. So it's been a challenging period, but I think it's held us in good stead and where we want to be now. So